Hey, welcome. I want to talk a little bit about this new term I learned. I didn't know this existed. I know what atheism is you don't believe in God, period. Um, but there's a new thing called Christian deconversion. Never heard of it. It's like an epidemic now, I guess. It's sad, actually. It's sad because, well, it sends a lot of messages. Kind of, it is, I believe, even more dangerous and more powerful than atheism, because atheism is just simply don't believe in God. Deconversion, if I get it right, is Christian deconversion is to turn away completely from the faith. In other words, you're in it, and then you say that that is not true anymore. Much more dangerous. Okay. So I wanted to create this video real quickly and try to talk about this stuff and just in a lot of aspects I understand why it's happening because it's what I've released previously on live streams regarding truth and extremists, Bible thumpers, whatever you want to call them, okay, that live entirely, everything that they do is based on Jesus and Lord and God and all this stuff, okay, and I don't want to take that away from them, but I just want them to understand the impact it's having on certain people because if you actually understand truth and what Jesus came to give us, the good news, guys, the good news, the gospel, he came to release the weight off of people's backs. He came to take that away. It's a beautiful message. Yet when you take it to extremes, and this is where a lot of divisions happen in religions, right? All of a sudden you have Christianity, which actually that term, it's just a term, guys. Like I say, these things, labels, etc. God himself understood that this was understood. Of course he understood. He knows all things. And this is an issue. And I could bring you back to, the time when he was talking to Moses. And he basically says, tell them I am. Because this label is a problem. As a matter of fact, the term Christianity came, I believe, let's say 15 years after Jesus was crucified. 15 years later, did they come up with this? What do we call ourselves? Christians, I guess, or somebody came up with that. So does that mean that they weren't Christians before? Yes, but the label, guys. So what we do here at Floh, and if you haven't subscribed and clicked the subscribe button and the notification bell, sometimes we go live with live streams. We allow people to talk until, sometimes we do prevent you from talking because sometimes there's people that are going on there and just trolling and just looking for attention. We don't want to give you attention. But I need to give some attention to this Christian conversion because a lot of it's based on a lot of people that may have never really understood Christianity or the truth. And don't take offense. You may have been involved in churches. You may have been doing all this stuff that you're supposed to be doing, trying to become or trying to be this person, etc. But see, the purpose of life is to find oneself and simply be. It's in the description down below underneath this video. And that allows you freedom, okay? Not to simply be what others want you to be. That is not Christianity. And to take the weight off you, that's what a lot of people impose. They have a picture of what Christianity, what God is like, and so they put that on you, and now you try to fit yourself in within that. But I'm just here to say, listen, if you dig deep and go deep inside yourself or be real, you'll find that you're made up of two separate factors or two things. For lack of better words, I don't, sometimes the words don't come. I don't have this written. You have a physical and the spiritual being. Spiritual being the most important, and that's it. Physical is just a manifestation of that which is spiritual. This is the only thing that matters. So when people are deconverting themselves, it's because they are looking at the external forces, externally what's happening, and they feel like they're missing out on something. They haven't discovered truth yet, because once in due time, when they realize it, that they had truth, if they even had it, this is very important. I don't care if you call yourself a Christian for 20 years, it doesn't matter. There's one thing calling yourself something and actually being it, okay? And understanding what that actually means. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, click the notification, because we go into it in depth. As a matter of fact, we have a platform whereby you can go ahead and manifest your faith into action, and supports everyone in the community, and that being you as well. So you become part of the community. Self-supportive, based on cryptocurrency and blockchain, so that there's no third parties. You're not paying for a building. We're not paying for others to, take from here. It's no third party. This is the beauty of cryptocurrency. Oh, did I just say cryptocurrency like Bitcoin? Is that the devil's currency? This is the problem. People call things certain things. This is superficial. This is not from the spiritual. Therefore, it cannot be true. So, for example, money. Money is not evil. Money doesn't have any value. You put the value on it. Money doesn't make, it's not evil. It doesn't have any value. Alcohol, another thing that has been preached. Alcohol is a bad thing. No. Alcohol doesn't have anything. It's what you believe in it, or how much you consume of it, or whatever you want from it. That's what gives it value. Alcohol in itself, you can have a drink or two or whatever, right? I'm not going to judge you, but you will judge yourself internally, the spiritual side, right? So you don't even need anyone to tell you what's right or wrong, because you know, especially if you're in tune with truth. Now, if you're in the physical and living by the physical, then you don't have any proper guidance. Everything seems to be right, okay? But internally, that inner person will tell you that there's some things very wrong, okay? But all alcohol, avoid. No, false. Where did you guys get this? Where did this come from? Jesus drank wine with those sinners. So you don't hang with people because they're sinners? Jesus did. I'm trying to understand this. You guys got to take a deeper look at what exactly Jesus meant. He came to take away the weight. He came to abolish all the things that the law could not accomplish. The law is there only to state that you are a sinner. Okay? You're a sinner. That's it. Once you understand that you need help, you need salvation, there's no way for you to make it here and beyond without God's guidance. Why would I say God's guidance? Because He's the creator, unless you created yourself, unless you manifested yourself. So when you deconvert, what does that mean? You become an atheist and don't believe anymore? And this is the problem when you put your faith in human beings, mankind. You should never put your faith in another man, because you will come across with false conclusions. And that's what's happening right now. That's why you're deconverting, because you're looking and going, oh, this is not, therefore God does not exist, because based on my things, this is what is preventing me. I felt so sad. I felt so condemned. I felt, listen, I don't know what others are telling you, but that's not what you're supposed to be feeling. Okay? That's not what you're supposed to be feeling. You're supposed to be free. So this is why I've said it, and I'll say it again. Going to church may be a bad thing, depending on who's in that church, the people, and what they recognize as truth. So not going to church may be a good thing. See, God is everywhere. God is everywhere. We have to be very, very careful, guys. We have to be very, very careful, because there's a lot of people that are becoming deconversions because they probably never actually were Christians or born again. There's only one way to become a Christian, is to be born again, which means that other person dies. Okay, that other physical side of you dies in essence, because now you're being ruled by truth, and now you can work in this world reality without being part of the world. Okay. There's a direct conflict between a lot of stuff that happens in the world. That's why you shouldn't participate. It's a direct conflict and reward system that you will achieve. Whether you know it now, you will learn it, because truth is part of life. And you're going to learn these things, and you're going to realize if you're flip-flopping, right? Flip-flopping is just as bad as not even just taking hold of one thing and running with it. But I can understand, okay? I understand where you're coming from. Because a lot of what I've seen in previous, previous occurrences is a lot of stuff that I've seen is specifically in church, which is where believers gather. I thought that they were more focused, and not all. Like I said, there's a lot of great churches and great people that understand truth, but a lot of them are confused. They're just following others, and based on what they're saying, they're not really haven't really taken a deeper look into it and challenge it. And so, it rings true to a lot of people, and then they run away from God instead of you pushing, not pushing, but allowing them to come closer to the revelation of truth. You actually committed a crime by pushing them away from truth. And this is what was happening back before Jesus came through the teachers of the law. They were pushing people away from truth, yet they were teaching truth. Pretty similar to what's going on right now. So we can't do that, guys. We got to come and learn in a deeper sense what it is that we're sharing. And if we don't have anything inside us, then we shouldn't be part of a building that's called ourselves a church. Okay? This is all internet based, guys, so it's allows us the freedom to be anywhere and meet you wherever you are. Pretty similar to what Jesus did. Would you agree? When people weren't coming to the churches then, the synagogues, he went out, he started something new, and he went out and met those people wherever they were. And he taught us how to really live. And you can see he sat with those sinners and those people, those teachers that are very alive today, that people are running across. They sat there and they judged that person based on external, right? External, remember? Spiritual, physical. On the physical did they judge, and they are judging on physical. But yet he sat and he shared with them truth by simply sitting there and having a few drinks and no issues, guys, because alcohol is not a sin if you understand it. And so you have a lot of these kids and younger people and older people having issues with that. And so therefore they're living life not as they should, but as they perceive they should, which is incorrect. Now, if this is going over your head, that may be a good thing. If this is something you want to hear more from, just go ahead and click the subscribe button and notifications. Guys, we're reaching out to those people that either are Christians, true Christians, and I use this because, like, what do you call yourself? What did those people call themselves, after Jesus risen and those 15 years when they didn't have a name? Labels, again, you see? So you're either a true believer, and if you are, we need you here. We need you to be part of Floh so we can bring this message out there. Okay? If you're not, then stick around and hang around and watch these videos and learn from them. I'm not here as someone who knows all. I'm here as a messenger and a participant. So sometimes I watch these videos and I learn from them as well. That's what we're supposed to do. Just get out of the way. Let things flow. Okay? But don't try to do things for your intentions. In other words, some people are doing things because they have to, or else their church, I don't know. They're just doing it from not a giving perspective. And so that was Jesus' message, to give. Okay? To give. Everything about it was giving. Giving oneself, giving your time, giving. He came and served us. Therefore, you must serve others. Okay? And that's not a bad thing. That gives you the greatest reward. But there's a deeper meaning to all this, guys. And so I want to stop it right now, and so that you guys can experience this in future videos. So click the subscribe and the notification bell. And deconversion, I don't understand the purpose and reason for creating those videos. If you don't believe, then you don't believe. I don't see anyone that you're saving with those kind of videos. You're not. You're basically saying whatever you believed in is lies. Therefore, here we'll share with you something that is truly lies, because we don't really have anything to share with you, because what we're doing is basically what the world's doing, which pretty much got you, if you became a Christian without being raised as a Christian, got you to become a Christian to begin with, because you realized that this world is not your world. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe a lot of these deconversion people were brought up in this. That's, they were kids and they brought up in this thing, and so they pushing away from it. But if you're a true Christian, most of the time you've learned through this. So you come into Christianity, right, because of stuff that was happening and it didn't make sense to you. And so you accept it now as true because you had this experience where you were born again. But don't get sidetracked by these kinds of videos. And if you're making these videos, think again why it is you're creating these videos. Is it for you? Is it so that you feel that you have more approval by men? Because approval of man doesn't really mean anything. Really doesn't. This whole thing, this whole game of life, if you want to call it a game, is to simply find yourself and be. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And so if you need that anyone else's approval, I can tell you safely that you are in the wrong track. This is only about you. That's it. And if you're in church and you're a church leader and you're listening to me right now, think about this for a sec. This has to do with you. Stop focusing on others and just you. And I'm almost positive that the message that starts coming out from you will be powerful and simple and to the point and God's message. Because you're not focusing anymore on those things that are out there, more so focusing on inwardly. Okay? Go back to the New Testament and look at what Jesus and how he lived. And you can pretty much get a good idea of what he stood for and how he shared truth in a way, in a human way, by which it gave you the tools to apply yourself in a human way. Okay? In a human way. Stop focusing on tongues and curing people, right? Don't worry about those things. Simply be. And if those things happen, they happen. But a lot of what I hear is people feeling that they need to do this, this, and this, and that in order to be. No. Focus inwards. Till the next one. Take care. Hey, thanks very much for watching this video. If you liked it, well then like it. If you haven't subscribed, do that. And click the notification bell because sometimes we go live here. As well, if you are part of Floh and you want to donate, well, there's the QR code right above. All you got to do is open up your phone. Boom. Send some donations this way. If you don't know what I'm doing or what that means, down in the description, underneath this video, you will see a link. Go check it out. That's what Floh is. It's about a community of believers showing their faith through a donation platform, as well as sharing the inspirational message of God and truth and Jesus to the masses. So we need you. We need you to be part of this. We encourage you to be part of this. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.